Hi guys, I'm back with another video. Today's video is going to be reactions for NXT New Year's Evil 2026. You guys know how these videos go by now, so I'm just going to get right into it. Let's just get right into the results. So I got 4 out of the 4 matches correct, which is overall a perfect pay-per-view for me. A lot happened during this show, so I have a lot to talk about. So, originally, the singles match for the NXT Women's North American Championship was going to start off the show, but the match never started because Blake Monroe viciously attacked Thea Hale before the match. The match never started because Blake Monroe attacked Thea Hale with a steel chair. Now, I will get more into this match later in the show, but what I want to talk about really quick is how the show started. So that's how the show started. And I think there's a couple of reasons why they did that. The first reason is they did that to make sure that Thea Hale didn't look bad or she didn't look weak losing the championship. So basically, Blake Monroe attacked her before the match. The match never started, and basically, Blake Monroe attacked her. So they basically did that to make sure that Thea Hale doesn't look bad or she looks weak losing the championship. Another reason why the match never started is because of the reason of Blake Monroe, I heard it earlier today. It was confirmed within sources within the company that they plan on calling up Blake Monroe to the main roster. And I pretty much mentioned this in my previous video that Blake Monroe would be called up to the main roster. I just didn't think she would be called up this early to the main roster. But basically, the sources within inside the company say they plan on calling up Blake Monroe and they plan on calling her up to the main roster. She's going to be on Monday Night Raw, which I disagree with. I think she should be on Friday Night SmackDown, but it's whatever. They plan on calling her up, and they could call her up to the Monday Night Raw to the main roster as soon as next week. So I think that's one of the reasons why that happened. But the match is rescheduled later in the show, and it's Thea Hale, the champion, versus Izzy Dame for the NXT Women's North American Championship. And I had to predict this match on the fly. This was not the original match of the show. The original match of the show was the singles match for the NXT North American Championship, Women's North American Championship. Thea Hale versus the champion versus Blake Monroe, but that match didn't happen. And then they rescheduled the match for later of the show, which was singles match for the NXT Women's North American Championship. Thea Hale, the champion, versus Izzy Dame. And my pick was Izzy Dame, obviously. And the winner of the NXT North American Championship match, Izzy Dame. So Izzy Dame is the new NXT North American Women's North American Champion. The second match in the show is a singles match. Tatum Paxley versus Izzy Dame. Winner of the singles match, Tatum Paxley. Yeah, I'm not really too surprised by this outcome. I said in my predictions video that Tatum Paxley was going to win. There was no interference in this match from the calling. The calling was banned from ringside, so they could not get involved and cause Tatum Paxley to lose the match. And overall, it was a pretty good match. Tatum Paxley did good. Izzy Dame did good. Though I don't think the feud is over, though. I think they plan on moving this. I think the next pay-per-view, it will be the new NXT Women's North American Champion Izzy Dame versus Tatum Paxley for the title, and it will be in some type of stipulation match. I don't think this feud is over, really, because they have one win a piece against each other, and I feel like they're going to do one more match, and it will be for the NXT Women's North American Championship, and the winner of that match, it will be in a stipulation match. The third match of the show is a singles match for the NXT Women's Championship. JC Jane, the champion, versus Kendall Gray. Winner of the singles match, and still the NXT Women's Champion, JC Jane. Yeah, I'm not really too surprised by this outcome. I said this in my predictions video. Kendall Gray, she needs more time to develop on NXT. She needs more time to develop her character. It's too early in her career to win the NXT Women's Championship. I just think it was too early, and I think it was the right decision by having JC Jane retain the NXT Women's Championship because, like I said, I understand that Kendall Gray was the underdog going into this match, and they wanted an underdog to face JC Jane, but, like, Kendall Gray is in a tag team with Ren Sinclair right now. She's also the WWE Women's Evolved Champion, and she just needs more time to develop her character on NXT TV, and it's too early in her career for her to win the title, so that's not saying that she won't win the title in the future, because I definitely think she will win the title in the future, but it's just not right now. And the fourth thing and the main event is a singles match for the NXT Championship. Obafemi, the champion, versus Leon Slater. Winner of the singles match and still the NXT champion, Obafemi. Yeah, I'm not really too surprised by this outcome either. Like I said in my predictions video, not G-Bon Evans, Leon Slater is in the exact same situation that Kendall Gray is in. It's just too early in his career to win the NXT Championship, and also he is not signed to WWE. He's not active on NXT, and he wrestles for TNA. He's a TNA talent, and I believe he has more of a chance of winning the TNA World Heavyweight Championship than he does the NXT Championship, because realistically, he's not signed to WWE. He's not actively on NXT, and he's more likely has a chance of winning the TNA World Heavyweight Championship than he does the NXT Championship. And when he does come to NXT, I think they need to develop his character more on NXT TV, just like they need to do for Kendall Gray, and I just have a feeling that was the feeling. Also, there is a rumor going around, and it's just a rumor. It may be right, it might be wrong, I don't know, but the rumor inside the company, basically what I heard is there is a possibility of Obafemi becoming the next Kevin Owens by having Obafemi being called up to the main roster as NXT champion. Now, he can't be on NXT and the main roster, so they're probably going to have him either relinquish, vacate, surrender the championship, whatever, and they might have some type of thing for it. They might have a tournament, they might have a gauntlet match, a battle royal to determine the new NXT champion. So, what do I think is the match of the night? Well, the match of the night is obviously the singles match for the NXT Championship, Obafemi versus Leon Slater. Overall, it was a great match, but I just kind of knew that Leon Slater was not going to become the new NXT champion. The underdog match of the night, I think, is going to be a singles match for the NXT Women's North American Championship. And the reason why I picked that, there was a lot of controversy going into this match because Thea Hale was never originally supposed to win the NXT Women's North American Championship from Blake Monroe. And then everybody thought Blake Monroe was going to win the title tonight. But then, like I said earlier, basically the sources inside the company say that Blake Monroe is being called up to the main roster. And she's going to be called up to the main roster and be on Monday Night Raw. And that could be as soon as next week. Probably next week in NXT they will confirm that. But also just the way they did it, by having Blake Monroe attacking Thea Hale to make sure she doesn't look weak or basically look bad if she lost the match to the Izzy Dame, and that was a great way to do it. It was a great way to possibly write off Blake Monroe off of the NXT and have her be called up to the main roster and be called up to Monday Night Raw, and then it just helps Izzy Dame. WWE has done this before, and NXT has done this before, where a wrestler loses a match on the show and they have a bounce back by winning a title, and that's exactly what Izzy Dame had tonight. So overall, I would say that's my underdog match tonight. Overall, good match. And my honorable mention is a singles match for the NXT Women's Championship. JC Jane, the champion, versus Kendall Gray. Also, another pretty good match on the show. You guys already know my thoughts. You guys already know my thoughts. But that's pretty much the show. Also, one more thing I would like to mention is even though Obafemi won his match against... Even though he won his match against Leon Slater, Obafemi has vacated the championship after the show. This is a late break development. So, Obafemi has vacated the NXT championship. So, the NXT championship's future is up in the air. It's up in the air. So, they could possibly do a tournament or a gauntlet match or a battle royal to determine the new champion. But all I knew is that Leon Slater was not going to become champion tonight. And that is my predictions and reactions for NXT New Year's Evil 2026. Please post a comment. What were your predictions and reactions for NXT New Year's Evil 2026? And if you guys like this video, please don't forget to please like, subscribe, and comment to the YouTube channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace, period. You know what? We're going to let this run to 12 minutes and 30 seconds. I'll basically see you guys next time. Peace.